people of the state of California versus TREZELL West, case BF 188340A. Verdict: Bakersfield, California, May 18, 2023. First count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, TREZELL West, guilty of felony, to wit, murder in the second degree, in violation of Section 187(a) of the Penal Code as charged in the first count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Second count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, TREZELL West, guilty of felony, to wit, involuntary manslaughter, in violation of Section 192(b) of the Penal Code as charged in the second count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Third count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, TREZELL West, guilty of felony, to wit, willful cruelty to a child, in violation of Section 273(a) of the Penal Code as charged in the third count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Sixth count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, TREZELL West, guilty of felony, to wit, willful cruelty to child, in violation of Section 273(a) of the Penal Code as charged in the sixth count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Seventh count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, TREZELL West, guilty of misdemeanor, to wit, false report of an emergency, in violation of Section 148.3(a) of the Penal Code as charged in the seventh count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your true verdict as read?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, is there any reason why the court should not accept the verdict as to Mr. TREZELL West?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hennessy. The court accepts the verdict. Would either counsel like the jury to be polled in regard to the verdicts for TREZELL West?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you like me to do that per count or just as to the verdict?
Yes.
What I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'll go one by one, and the question will be, is this your true and correct verdict as read in regard to each count that you made a finding for Mr. TREZELL West? For number one?
Yes.
For number two?
Yes.
Number three?
Yes.
Number four?
Yes.
Number five?
Yes.
Number six?
Yes.
Number seven? Number 8?
Yes.
Number 9?
Yes.
Number 10?
Yes.
Number 11?
Yes.
Number 12?
Yes.
Mr. Hennessy, is that satisfactory?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there any reason why, in regard to TREZELL West, the jury could not be excused? Let's take the verdict then now for Jacqueline West.
Superior Court of California, County of Kern. The people of the state of California versus Jacqueline West. Case BF 188340. Verdict: Bakersfield, California, May 18, 2023. First count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, Jacqueline West, guilty of felony, to wit, murder in the second degree, in violation of Section 187(a) of the Penal Code as charged in the first count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Second count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, Jacqueline West, guilty of felony, to wit, involuntary manslaughter, in violation of Section 192(b) of the Penal Code as charged in the second count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Third count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, Jacqueline West, guilty of felony, to wit, willful cruelty to a child, in violation of Section 273(a) A of the Penal Code as charged in the third count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Sixth count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, Jacqueline West, guilty of felony, to wit, willful cruelty to a child, in violation of Section 273A, A of the Penal Code as charged in the sixth count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson. Seventh count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled case, find the defendant, Jacqueline West, guilty of misdemeanor, to wit, false report of an emergency, in violation of Section 148.3 A of the Penal Code as charged in the seventh count of the indictment. Signed, foreperson.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your true verdict as to Jacqueline West as to the counts read?
Yes, Your Honor.
So today, classic and sincere Pettis got justice. You may know them as ORRIN and ORSON, but they are classic and sincere. And these are the charges for Jacqueline and TREZELL West, the adopted parents, if you don't know. And what all this means, if you don't understand, because I didn't right away, is that both of them are guilty of second-degree murder of ORRIN. Both of them are guilty of involuntary manslaughter of ORRIN. Both of them are guilty of willful cruelty to a child of ORRIN. But the jury couldn't make their mind up for these next two counts: conspiring to commit murder of ORSON and second-degree murder of ORSON. They were found guilty of willful cruelty to a child of ORSON and falsely reporting an emergency of both boys. I hope that simplified that. So what does it all mean? That's what we want to know now. All right, so here's what I know. I'm no lawyer, but I can read. So I'm going to just read you guys the law. Second-degree murder, 15 years to life. Involuntary manslaughter carries 2, 3, or 4 years in jail and a fine of up to $10,000. Willful cruelty to a child, a felony that carries 2, 4, or 6 years in California State Prison and or a fine of up to $10,000. Conspire to commit a crime, up to 8 years depending on the crime and circumstances. And false report of an emergency is up to 1 year and or $1,000 fine. So basically, they're going to be in there for a very long time. But it's completely up to the judge at the sentencing to determine exactly how long that's going to be. And he will consider certain factors of their life. And I hope he shows them no leniency.
Second-degree murder involves reckless abandonment. Okay, we don't intend to kill someone, but we have such wanton disregard for life that when someone dies, it is so grossly reckless that it's beyond anything that's reasonable. Let's say we're street racing and I kill someone in another car, and even though I wasn't intending to kill someone, I have recklessly abandoned the laws and limitation on our streets. So we do second-degree murder when you don't intend to kill someone, but it's so reckless, it's beyond anything that's reasonable.
We have involuntary manslaughter. Involuntary manslaughter. It's a reckless killing. And it's less reckless than depraved heart murder. So for example, I shoot a bullet into a freight train just for the heck of it. Unfortunately, a hobo is sleeping in one of the cars and he catches the bullet. I kill him. Oh. Well, I didn't mean to kill him. It's an involuntary manslaughter situation. In other words, I didn't mean to kill him. I shot in a freight train just to be shooting bullets into a freight train. I guess some people do that. But let's change the scenario. I shoot a bullet into a passenger train. And I didn't mean to kill anybody. I just wanted to see if I can shoot the bullet in between the cars. And one passenger catches the bullet. Well, now that could be depraved heart murder, second-degree murder.
So I think we got it now. I wanted to give it to you in a couple of different forms because everybody thinks and learns a different way. Now, I do find it interesting that they got them on both the involuntary manslaughter and second-degree murder. Again, I'm no lawyer. Anyway, moving forward. As you can see, it all comes down to the degree of recklessness as determined by a jury.
Jacqueline West, guilty. TREZELL West, guilty. Signed, foreperson.
Sentencing is set for July 13th, and I, for one, can't wait. Overall, justice for classic and sincere. Condolences to the families. Sincerely. And I'll see you in the comments, beautiful people.